Hi, everyone. All right, let me know if you can hear me, if you're here, type in the chat. I'll wait a minute or so to see who shows up. This is my first live, so I'm a little nervous. And 2 sips of coffee. I'm just sitting there a little too wired, and I try to bring it down with water. I have a massive haul today, like an online order that I made and to my local comic shop. And so I picked that up as well as what was on my pull list, which was just like one comic this week. I didn't have a lot. So it's good that I made this online order, so I have more to share with you. Like I actually have a lot to share. So yeah, just end up typing into the chat box. Let me know that you're here so that I can see. It shows that there's someone watching, but I would love to talk to you through this. And let me know how much this mic is doing. This is, again, first live, testing out the mic. I'm going to give it. Let me know what you're drinking tonight while you're watching this live. But I'm going to get started in another minute or so. Tell me what you also got on your pull list, or just like if you went to the comic store and you went through the bins or you got some back issues, let me know what you are reading if you found anything that you really liked. I am going to start with what came out this week, which there's I have like 3 comics that came out this week. Well, one's a trade paperback, which I'm excited for. So I got Eternals, Thanos Rises. I need to catch up on the Eternals series that I have, but this is a one-shot, I believe. And I'm excited. I love the original covers. The variants were getting sold out really quickly, at least at my local comic shop. But I kind of just love cover A. And I've really enjoyed the Eternals covers. And I'm so excited for the movie. It looks badass. So if you're also excited for that, let me know in the chat. Let me know your theories, your thoughts. If you saw Shang-Chi, also loved it so much. I thought it was phenomenal. I will go on record saying that I thought it was one of Marvel's best solo character films, which is a really bold statement, but I feel like a lot of people I've talked to have kind of felt similar. Curious to know what you think. If you're watching this in the replay, drop a comment down in the comment section and let me know what you thought about that. And then, so I ordered it through the web store, but it did come out this week. I normally don't buy the huge ratio variants, mostly because what I'm finding now as a new comic book reader, and when I say new, I mean I have been reading comic books for the last year and a half, but I still feel like I'm catching up on storylines, especially with X-Men, because as so many of you already know, I read House of X, Power of X last month, which means I am behind. Like I am still like Dawn of X, haven't reached Reign of X. Like I am trying to catch up, which feels really intimidating because there's so many different storylines. And just in general with that, I feel like there's a lot of series that are going that I missed like right when they started. And so I'm diving in the middle. Like Something is Killing the Children. My boyfriend bought the first issue that they did a reprint of, and I thought it just started because I missed that bandwagon. And I realized that there's like several volumes actually published. So I feel like I'm in that space of like, do I get volumes and hardcovers? Do I wait for omnibuses to come out? Or do I try to collect single issues? I am slowly running out of room in my boxes, my long boxes. So trying to figure out the space issue. But so when it comes to some of the new series that are continuing in the ratio variants, it's hard for me to splurge a little bit more on them just because I know I'm kind of preemptively buying single issues because I know I'm going to catch up and read them, but I'm not quite there at the storyline. So I don't want to get something. I mean, even if the cover art is really great, but I'm like, what if I don't like the story and I just dropped $50 on this ratio variant? However, I did it. I did drop $50 on a ratio variant because it's beautiful. It has one of my favorite characters on the cover. I was like, I guess I could just do it. And that is The Trial of Magneto. I'm issue 2. I am absolutely obsessed with this cover. I think it's so gorgeous. And I do not know what is happening in this storyline because I've not caught up to where the Trial of Magneto is right now. I still haven't even touched like Hellfire Gala, though. I already know what happens. The big events in that one, I know what happens, but I haven't read it. So I'm playing a lot of catch up right now. But that being said, this is beautiful. I am so happy to have this issue. I think I am going to place it in my long comic box displays. So right behind me, if you can see, it has that's my long box that I store my comics in. And I have 2 other ones, and that one's for my indie comics, but I have one in our living room that is for like Marvel and DC. And so I'm thinking I'm going to swap out my Phil Noto retro covers, or one of them, to put here. Let me know if you're reading this. Let me know what you think. If you could avoid some spoilers, I'd appreciate you so much. But that being said, because I read House of X, Power of X, I've been getting a lot of recommendations from the community about what storylines to kind of get into. And I read Marauders and loved it so much. I'm obsessed with Kate Pryde and Emma Frost. I will say someone on Instagram, I think, I forget the handle, so I don't want to misspeak, but someone told me that they felt like the rest of the characters are window dressings and Emma and Kate really hold the story, but that it was a really good story. And I kind of have to agree with that. I will say, like, there's obviously certain characters that are moving that story, the plot line forward, like Sebastian Shaw, and I enjoyed it, but I felt like Emma Frost and Kate Pryde really do carry that story, but I'm okay with that. I am fine. So I ordered, with that being said, I got the hardcover, which covered issues 1 through 12. And for whatever reason, in terms of the volumes, like volume 1, 2, and 3 that they publish in softcover, only they have a gap where they actually don't put in issues like 13 through 15. So I got more issues of Marauders, single issues. So this is the Fortnite variant, which I thought was really fun. And I don't play Fortnite, but my brother does. And I love just like the covers that they've come out with. Also, by the way, I see that there's some more people here. Let me know in the chat. Oh, there we go. Hi, Aisha. I see that you're in the chat. For whatever reason, I couldn't see people commenting. So yeah, if you're watching, let me know what you are reading this week. Let me know what you bought. If you bought anything, let me know what you're loving. If you've seen any of the Marvel movies, let me know. Or if you've read any of the comics that I'm showing, I want to hear people's thoughts. But so then I got issue 14 of Marauders. '14, 15, and then I bought the volume 3, which covers 16 through 21. So now I've just jumped, because again, I'm running out of room in my long boxes. I cannot buy all the single issues. So 22. I mean, look at that cover of Kate Pryde and Lockhead. I love it. Sorry for the glare on this one. My light. And then for issue 24, which I think actually might have come out this week, I'm really into this cover art. So I got I'm basically just catching up on all of the issues of Marauders. I have the first volume of New Mutants. Hellions or Hellions have been recommended to me, and I think that might be my next endeavor. It's a little hard when there's so much to the stories. I'm just sitting there like I said, trying to play catch up. Let me know if you've ever felt that way. I don't know if like you've been reading comics for a really long time, or if you're just starting out with reading comics or trying to find your way into certain characters, if you're trying to play catch up and get into the current storylines. Because I'm feeling that a little bit with X-Men, but I'm happy to feel that way because the stories are really good. Then what also came out this week that I grabbed, dun, 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 Stray Dogs. So I'm really excited. I, for Free Comic Book Day, got the Stray Dogs free comic book. And I guess that was like a prequel to the series. I thought it was cute. I'm not sold yet from just that. Let me know if you've read it. I've honestly yet to hear one bad thing about the series. So I'm really excited. The fact that it's Silence of the Lambs with all dogs go to heaven. Like, tell me more, please. So I'm excited to dig into that later this week. So now a lot of what I'm going to be pulling up are back issues and from the huge online order that I made through my local comic book store. So there is a lot here. I got the first issue of Rorschach. I think I'm pronouncing it right. I know that this character is from Watchmen. I really like Tom King, so that's why I picked it up. Other than that, like I'm going in really blind. I feel like I've heard mixed things. I saw Gem Mint, his new comic book day video today on YouTube. If you don't subscribe to him, if you don't watch him, definitely do. He was one of the first YouTubers that I started watching. And he didn't seem to impress with the final issue. So I don't know. We'll see what I think. I'm curious to read it and see if I like it, especially because I just don't read DC often. Like the characters don't always draw me in the same way as I have with Marvel. Then finally, if you've watched my second YouTube video of just the comic books that I got last week and what the bone I had to pick with like DC's future state and Wonder Woman versus Wonder Girl, because I kept buying the wrong issues. Dun, dun. I finally picked up the Wonder Woman issue 2. And I'm so excited. It's Jenny Frison cover, so it's freaking beautiful. I'm really excited to finally read this because I've been trying to find that comic for so long, and I just kept buying Wonder Girl issue 2. I have several copies of it. KDS242 asks, am I reading any of the DC Black labels? I'm wondering if I could show I know there's a way to show comments on screen, on lives. I'm sorry, bear with me. This is my first live. So I don't know how to do that actually. But I haven't read any of the DC Black labels before or in general. If you wouldn't mind putting in the chat like more about the DC Black labels, I'm always open to recommendations. I think with the DC, like it has like Future State and Infinite Frontier. I don't really know. I think someone last week let me know the difference between those. But also if you could let me know what the difference between the Black label is, that would be helpful. Because I have no idea. My knowledge of a DC is just like really freaking small. Though I did grab Harleen, which is like back there. I don't know if that's Black label DC, but it's so good. I started it this past weekend and I'm loving it. Oh, okay. KDS 242 said I might like the Nice House on the Lake. I actually, because everyone's also been recommending that in a bunch of horror series, I picked up those Image previews over the weekend, And I picked up Nice House on the Lake as well as Witches because I was really into it. Also, Jason, how's it going? Thanks for tuning into this live. It's my first live, so I'm really excited to just chat with you all. And then Tiernan is a horror book that's on DC's Black Label. I'm like interested. I'm diving into horror. I'm not a huge horror reader in general. Like that's never really been my bag, but the comic series that it feels like people are coming out right now, there's a lot of horror and it's a lot of really good horror. So I'm really open to reading it. He's the same guy who writes Department of Truth. Another one that I just like am missing out on. I will say I picked up Department of Truth while I was browsing in the comic book store and wasn't like in love with the art. And sometimes for me, there's a really big disconnect. If I'm not like loving the art, I won't read it. KDS242 says I should read it. Hi, Zoo York. So maybe I'll give it a go, but I feel like I'm playing a lot of catch up on a ton of storylines right now. I feel like with Marauders and like a bunch of the X-Men stuff, I'm trying to find my way into. Jason said Primordial #1 by Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino is a must this week. Again, checked it out at the comic book store and just like didn't feel like it was for me. I will probably be wrong. Like watch like in 2 weeks, I'm gonna come back and just be like, Jason was right. Should have picked that up. I'm loving it because I feel like that often is like what I'm doing now. Also, I got KDS242 agrees with Primordial. I also got more the Marauders, the King in Black. I think it's a one shot. Again, in terms of catching up, have no idea what the King in Black event is. I did a lot of Googling beforehand. If anyone's reading like the event that's happening with the King in Black in Marvel right now, let me know what you think of it. I know it has a lot to do with Venom. Previously, like Venom was just not a character that's really been on my radar. So I don't know too much about it. I'm excited to read it once I get all the way caught up with the Marauders. Soon because I've been binging. Jason, yeah, you're definitely going to go back for Primordial, in my opinion. Yeah, you know, probably right because what was it for the Nice House on the Lake? Like Witches. I feel like all of these have been recommended to me, and I'm going back to the comic shops. I'm just like leaving with like loads of comics as I'm showing like this online order. These are all just back issues, like. I am just trying to catch up, y'all. All right, so I have The Mighty Valkyries, issue 5. I'm obsessed with the art in this one. I'm really loving the story. I'm really into just like the Asgardian mythology. I love it all. If you are reading any of those or like that, let me know. Have any of you guys read Wind? Because again, another one I just slept on for the longest time. And I picked up issue 1 through 3 a couple weeks ago, read it, loved it. And so now I got the rest of the series. And I'm very happy with it. Because I got a lot of the like thank you variants that my comic store had. And then I was really into the tarot cards from Rain. Her artwork is just really amazing. Wait, KDS242, same guy who wrote Wind, wrote Department of Truth. What? Oh my God, you guys are selling me on Department of Truth. I've just chosen wrong. This artwork is amazing. Okay, well, damn. Okay, well, add Nice House on the Lake. So I have the first issue of Nice House on the Lake. It's in the long box over there. I haven't read it. I just like haven't gotten into it yet. But I promise I will. I'll give you my thoughts. I'll let you know that you were right. Probably that it's just so good. And then I got another issue 10. I got two issue 10s for Wind. KDS, did you read Wind, by the way? And then this variant of Wind is stunning. That needs to be on my wall. That's how I feel about that. Any like top variants that you guys have been like really into lately? Oh, Aisha, so pretty. It is. I love these covers. Wind is good. So if you're interested, definitely give it a read. If you like Department of Truth, you should read Wind because it's the same writer. I really like that it plays against these like fantasy tropes and just like even romantic tropes. There's like some romance to it. There's a lot of fantasy. Just it gives you a story that you think is going one way and then it totally reverses it, especially with the first issue. I was really impressed. I think, anticipating something a little bit more run-of-the-mill fantasy, and that's not what I got, and that's not what I felt like I got. Jason, I know you aren't caught up on the Exiles, but the Trial of Magneto mini event has been dope. Okay, so in the beginning of this live, I was talking about how I'm preemptively like buying single issues of things that I know that I'm going to want to read, and which has led me down a very big buying rabbit hole. And with that, Trial of Magneto is one of those comics that I'm buying. And I was talking about how I don't buy like a lot of expensive variants, mostly because of the fact that like I'm preemptively buying at this point some series. Like I'm reading Marauders now, and I am like in the middle of Wind. I'm reading Wonder Girl, Eternals, Champions, but so I'm not all the way up to the Trial of Magneto. But I got the Hans cover. I just had to. This is like my first expensive variant. I'm very, very proud of it. It's going to be displayed for sure because it just has such a good image of Magneto. But yeah, I'm really excited for the event. Jason, so before Trial of Magneto, there's like a couple essential tie-ins before that. The Hellfire, are you talking about the Hellfire Gala, X Factor and Sword as well? I'm just gonna read it all. Guys, I'm gonna end up with like all of these comics. I'm excited though, but I'm gonna need some more long boxes and also some more shelf space. Like right now, all of my graphic novels, omnibus, and hardcovers for the most part like live on that top shelf for Marvel. Everything else in my office is just like non-graphic novels or comics. So I'm gonna need to open some space up. How do you like, Jason, X Factor and Sword? So is X Factor is its own series, right? And then there's Excalibur, Helion's New Mutants, KDS. Yeah, it's a struggle. There is just so much good stuff coming out right now. I'm reading so many indie books. It's kind of insane. Drop those indie books. Okay, so I know you're reading Department of Truth, and I know that you're reading Nice House on the Lake and Primordial, because both you and Jason are about that. What other indie titles are you reading right now that you're into? I feel like I'm a little consumed by Marvel right now, so like my knowledge of indie is weak. And then, like I said earlier, I got the trade paperback for Stray Dogs. So let me know what you guys have. Either of you, have any of you, the people who are watching, read Stray Dogs? I'm just waiting for someone to say they didn't like it. I've heard no bad comment. Not that I want. I'm just wondering if anyone like didn't like it. I have yet to read it, so I have like no opinion of it. Just that it looks cute and fun. But let me know what else in the chat you bought. Did you get any? If you guys got anything this week? Yeah. So X Factor is basically a mutant cop show. They solve mutant crimes. I can get down with that. That sounds really fun. I'm loving the fact that with the X-Men lines that there's like these really strong story themes. Like with Marauders, it's like it's a pirate story, basically, kind of. I love Read Across the Stars. Hi, I'm so glad you're here. By the way, I just need everyone in this live to know, and then whoever watches the replay, that Read Across the Stars is one of the first like comic accounts I followed and like basically heavily stalked and loved so much because she's just really dope. And anyways, I'm glad you're here. KDS242 says, Not All Robots is a new one. It's super good. The last book you'll ever read, Porcelain, Time Before Time, Bunny Bat. Wow, you really are going in on those indie comics. I love, I have heard about Not All Robots. Again, I think another one I'm probably sleeping on. I haven't picked it up. And then the last book you'll ever read, I actually bought it, and I feel like, again, my stacks are getting so big. My TBR is wild right now. I haven't read it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm Read Across the Stars. I'm good. I'm doing really good. I was showing off like this like really large online order that I grabbed earlier. Thank you. I also got like a Doctor Strange Supreme Secret variant. Let me show you without the glare. Yeah, I got a really large stack this week. It's a little bit insane. Honestly, I need to probably cool it, guys. I don't have anywhere to put them. They're just gonna like sit on top of the long boxes at this point. Silver Coin is a good one. Luna was good. I didn't love Luna for whatever reason. I picked up the first 2 issues and it just didn't hit me. It was okay. I didn't really love the story, but Not All Robots has been fantastic. Yeah, I feel like I've seen a couple people on Instagram show the panels, and I have giggled a lot while reading some of the panels. So I feel like that's something that I might end up picking. What are some Chariot was good. I don't know anything about Chariot. What's it about, KDS? Read Across the Stars, have you gotten any new comics recently or anything that you're excited? I know you've been getting some Funko Pops because I have seen. But any other comics or graphic novels? Also, this is like tangential, like comic book related, but I was in Chicago Comics this past weekend, and I picked up Robert Kirkman Conversations. So I'm a fan of The Walking Dead, and I'm just here for any time like there's any collections of interviews. I love hearing creators like thought processes and what inspires them, and so I'm really excited to just read about his ideas on comics and comic writing. So really excited about this. Are any of you Walking Dead fans or just like Robert Kirkman fans in general? Let me know in the chat box. So yeah, that's my big stack. That's most of the stuff. I will show again the Jenny Frisian. Kirkman's that dude, Jason. Also, Jenny Frisian is like one of my favorite artists right now. I feel like I say that about a lot of them. Like Jenny Frisian, Peach Momoko, Rain. I'm forgetting her last name. Phil Noto is a huge favorite. Yes, Yara. KDS, yes. Jenny is great. I really want to figure out does anyone know how to show your comments on the live? Because I feel like it would just be fun for them to pop up and you're not just only staring at me. It's okay. I'll figure that out another time. I'll do another live eventually. Oh, you're seeing everyone's comments. Perfect. Okay. Any variants that anyone's really, really, really loving? Any artist in general? I'm super curious to see what artists are really resonating with you right now. Read Across the Stars. I had to make a box just for Rain Gonzalez, Jenny Frisian, Peach Momoko, and Jen Bartel. Oh my gosh, they're like the best. All of those women artists. I also love that you made a box for them, like specifically. That's like probably the best box. You just click their comment and it should show up on screen from memory. Let's see. I'm clicking your comment, but it won't. It's okay. We'll figure it out another time. But for me, variants that Jay Ferguson has done for Department of Truth and also Cult of Dracula. How is Cult of Dracula? Again, like me, I've just been perusing the comic store, seeing all of these comics where I'm like, I can't keep buying. It might not read across the stars. Yes, no, maybe might not work streaming direct on YouTube. Yeah, it's not. They're not like pumping up like the way they are popping up on the chat. And I know that you guys can see everyone's chats, but do you know that like they can sometimes like pop up on the screen like right here? KDS, it was all right. I think it was optioned for a movie. Oh, interesting. There's a lot of I feel like there's been a lot of things being optioned for like Netflix, HBO, and just films. Like Oblivion Song was I think Jake Gyllenhaal just got casted for that. I feel like there was like something else that was like really big that is being optioned. Any comics that haven't come out yet or series that haven't started that you're interested in? I'm really looking forward to Knighted, which is from AWA, I think is the publisher. And KDS Chariot is optioned for a movie as well. I think Warner Brothers won the rights. Oh, that's exciting. I'm always really pumped when anything is adapted, just because I'm curious to see how it'll be reinterpreted, because I feel like oftentimes graphic novels or comics the adaptations are a little bit better, or maybe a little bit more faithful, because there's that visual element. There's been so many times where I've read a book and then I go see the adaptation. I'm just like highly disappointed. Any favorite adaptations that you've seen, or anything where you're like, oh, they totally fucked this one? Let me know. Has anyone seen Why the Last Man? That was a graphic novel comic series. I haven't read it, but that's on Hulu right now. Has anyone watched that at all? I'm curious. I think I might give it a go later tonight if I have the time. Jason, I'm hyped for Night 2. Pretty sure that's part of Straczynski's Hero Universe. Jason, I think you're right. From what I know about it, Read Across the Stars, I looked at YouTube support and it doesn't look like you can put the comments unless you stream via StreamYard. Oh, that's good to know. Thanks so much for checking that out for me. Now I know. I'm curious too, because it looks like everyone hates the ending. Oh, the ending for Why the Last Man. Everyone hates it. Read Across the Stars said going to see Shang-Chi tomorrow. Okay, who else has seen, like, there's a few people now that are also watching a little bit more than earlier. Has anyone else seen it? I've seen it twice. And it's holds up the second time. It's so good. I thought the action scenes were so beautiful and also really freaking badass. And I thought that the character development was great. I think they did such a good job. Voodoo Zombie passing by to say hi and support. I'll watch it later when I wake up. Oh, get a good night's rest. Read Across the Stars. It's only releasing in New Zealand today. Yeah, I am so sorry, because I can imagine that you have been seeing all of the people hyping it up online, and you've just had to be super patient. I'm so sorry, but hopefully you get to see it maybe today or this weekend, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts. I am really excited. Like, it was just so good. I really think it's one of the best Marvel solo character films, which, like, that's a lot of hype for it, but I was really, really impressed. And I just feel like at this point I'm watching all of the trailers for like Eternals and Spider-Man No Way Home, and even like Hawkeye. I don't know, I just feel like they're like knocking it out of the park. That's a lot of, we'll see, right? We'll watch the films or the TV shows, but I'm really impressed with everything they've done, especially with WandaVision, Loki, and Falcon and Winter Soldier. Read Across the Stars, the Simu Liu thirst content has been keeping me going. I love that. All of his thirst traps. Have you seen the chain of stock photos he's done? It's so funny. He, like, I think retweeted it and was like, thank you, and I also hate this. My 8-year-old is so excited for Hawkeye and No Way Home. It's the best thing. Hawkeye looks so good. So, okay, inspired by like watching the Hawkeye trailer, I went and purchased the omnibus of Hawkeye where it's both of them. I forget which run it is. It's like Matt Fraction or something like that. So I am really excited to read that before I watch the show, which I'm not sure like how much of it will be adapted from that run, but I think it'll be cool to just know a little bit more about Hawkeye, because I mean that was really a character that I really didn't pay attention to, and now with Kate Bishop, I'm a little bit more inclined. But has anyone? What do you guys think about like the Eternals and Spider-Man No Way Home trailers that we've seen? Read across the stars. She was reading the Kelly Thompson Hawkeye and West Coast Avengers last night in bed. Oh, yes, I love it. Oh, it is heavily inspired by the Fraction Ninja series. Perfect. I'm so excited. It's thick. I'm just over here purchasing all of the comics and omnibuses, and then I'm just going to be like buried under books. So wish me luck, because I'm going to be coming with you with all the content. What did you read across the stars? Did you read the Fraction Ninja series, and did you like it? Has anyone else here read the Hawkeye series or is looking forward to that that Disney Plus show? I'm also Eternals is directed by Chinese-born woman, so that's all I need to know to be hyped for. I'm pumped. It looked so good. It also looks a little bit darker in general. At least the trailer made it feel darker than some of the other just like Marvel films that I'm used to seeing trailers for. So I'm really excited for that. I think the cast is really good, really diverse. I just don't know how like you can mess it up when you have a cast like that. So I'm just like, I have such good feelings for it. And then the Spider-Man No Way Home, like, I mean, I'm just ready for the multiverse, like to just explode and like all of this crazy shit to happen. I don't know about you all, but I'm ready. Read across the stars. I think you'll really like it. I read the Fraction Hawkeye. Agree about it being quite dark. Yeah, I'm impressed. Eternals head is, yes, the casting is amazing. Okay, so to just dive into a little bit some of the shows, has anyone watched, and I think Read Across the Stars you definitely have because we've talked about it, the What If Zombies that was on Disney Plus? I loved it. Have not been like super in love with the What If TV show in general. Not because it isn't good, but I think for me, just animated like episodes sometimes just can be like a hit or miss for me. Like I'm just not as emotionally and like invested in it, and whatever the case may be. So I have been like watching them, but like haven't been fangirling as much. And the zombie episode makes me want to read all of the zombie Marvel comics, because it was just so like, I'm actually quite surprised with how dark they've gone with these episodes. Like I was anticipating them to be like, I mean, I feel like they're kid friendly, but like, I don't know, depending on who you are and what you allow your kid to watch, maybe they're not. But I don't like kind of like spoiler alert. If you haven't watched it, maybe like mute me for a quick second. Just like, why won't they let Wanda and Vision be happy? Like ever? Jason, yes. The Marvel Zombies episode was awesome. Kirkman wrote the Marvel Zombies, the original run. He did? I didn't even know this. Okay, Read Across the Stars Marvel Zombies book club, 100%. Like, I need this in my life. I am like, need Kirkman. I love Walking Dead. I mean, it makes sense that he then probably wrote it, but like, I had no idea. What? I'm excited. Wow. This just made that episode so much better, because now I'm going to get even more of it. Wanda and Vision. I just want Wanda and Vision to be happy, but in no world does it seem like that will happen. I also felt like it was, I know like for the Marvel Zombies actual comics, they do have it where, again, spoiler, that, what was it? Black Panther is like being fed to zombies. I think that's a thing. Or like there was like a picture of the panel versus like the show, and they paralleled, and I just thought that was like so fucking dark. I was like, are we really watching this right now? Like Vision is feeding Black Panther to Wanda. Can we all just what? Really excited that they went there though, because I mean I'm here for the darker stuff. Like I really like that they're not afraid to explore it, and I'm just surprised they're doing it in an animation form where again it feels like I would probably expect it to be a little bit more lighter tone, but nah, they're like, we're gonna give it to you, we're gonna make you cry, because that's what I did. I was like, no, I just want everyone to be happy and survive. No one's like surviving these, by the way. Like I feel like we've only had like one where it was like, you know, Peggy as like a Captain America was like a happier ending, but then like I did watch the latest What If with Killmonger. Again, they're just all ending in this dark ass way, which is, you know, not a bad thing, but really unexpected. Have you seen it? Read Across the Stars, just like anyone else. I feel like it's not really a spoiler of saying it's not ending in like a positive way. They really haven't been doing positive. I was so mad about Tony. Why? I am surprised you were mad about Tony, because Iron Man is like really low on your totem pole. No, but like that was really sad. I was like, damn. I was just really upset about like the Wakanda aspect of it. I was like, he's just doing everyone dirty, and like no one's catching him like before it happens. But I've been doing this live for about like almost 45 minutes, and you all have been freaking amazing. I have to go read. I need to just Department of Truth Primordial. I'm walking away being like, I'm just missing great things. Marvel Zombie Comics. Yeah, let me know what you got this week, what you're reading, what I'm missing out on, because Jason and KDS 242 really schooled me on what I'm missing today, and you know they're probably right. So, but I appreciate everyone for showing up. Read Across the Stars, you're the best. I am going to DM you about this book club that we are going to do together. But everyone have a good rest of your evening. And if you're watching the replay, thanks for watching the replay. Hopefully you're not mad if I spoiled some Marvel What Ifs.